We have made it to the 2026 World Cup. Brazil and Morocco face each other right away. And this might be the biggest game of the first round of the World Cup, maybe even the biggest game of the group stage alongside maybe France and Senegal, Portugal and Colombia. This game is huge. The most iconic and legendary national team of all time, Brazil with 5 World Cup trophies, they'll face Morocco, the 2022 World Cup semi-finalist and current AFCON champion. I mean, I still feel like Senegal won it, but whatever. Let's preview Brazil versus Morocco. Hello. If you're new here, I'm Filippo, and welcome to Chapelle Football, where we provide the best coverage of South American football in English on YouTube. So make sure to subscribe if you haven't already, if you want a full South American football coverage in the 2026 World Cup. And today we're going to preview Brazil versus Morocco. This is how it's going to go. First, we're going to go through some Brazil news, updates, the record between both sides, the projected starting 11 for Brazil, how I would possibly approach this game. As for Morocco, we have a special guest called Rida. He's an expert in the national team, does a tremendous job covering them on Instagram, and he will be giving us a Moroccan perspective on this game, the Moroccan national team, Brazil, the World Cup, and much more. Now, what you can do to support the channel right now, along with subscribing, is hitting the like button if you haven't already, and share this video with your mom, dog, cat, or that one person that you do not like. And this video is brought to you by FootMob. The link to download FootMob is in the description of this video, so make sure to use it. You'll be supporting the channel in the process, and it's free. Okay, let's roll the intro and start the episode. Oh, wait. Before we start, I must remind you, we will be doing live watch-alongs or live watch parties for every single Brazil game in the 2026 World Cup and most South American nations. So this Saturday, we will be live during the Brazil-Morocco game here on YouTube. So I'll see you there. Okay, let's start the episode. Brazil and Morocco face each other this Saturday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time for their very first 2026 World Cup game. This game will be played at the MetLife Stadium in New York. Now listen, as someone that grew up in New York, the MetLife Stadium is not really in New York. It's in New Jersey. Throughout history, Brazil and Morocco have faced each other 3 times, with 2 Brazilian wins, including one win in the 1998 World Cup group stage where Brazil defeated Morocco 3-0, and then Morocco has 1 win, which is the most recent game, and a friendly back in 2023 where Morocco did defeat Brazil, but Brazil had Ramon Menezes in charge for that game. That is the worst coach in football history. I literally made a video talking about how bad this guy is. For crying out loud, he played Rony. Like, if you know the Brazilian league, if you watch Brazilian football, Palmeiras, he's not playing for Palmeiras anymore. Rony is an incredibly bad player. And there were many other questionable call-ups. My point, the Brazil you're going to see in the World Cup is completely different from the one that Morocco defeated in 2023. Brazil have better players, because it'll be the actual call-up, and a better coaching staff with Carlo Ancelotti in charge. But this is still a very tricky game. I don't think Morocco beating Brazil is an upset. I don't think Brazil beating Morocco is an upset. The most likely scenario is a draw. It's a very even game, which is funny to say because if you go back 20 years ago, Brazil would always be the clear favorites against Morocco. For this game, I think Brazil will win, but they're not the clear favorites. And listen, back in 2022, Brazil suffered their very first loss in the history of the World Cup to an African nation. That's the first time Brazil lost to an African nation. That record was broken by Cameroon in the group stage. Of course, Brazil did rotate because they had already qualified, but again, they lost that game. Now, Brazil has only not won in their World Cup opener 3 times throughout history. In 1978, they tied Sweden. In 2018, they tied Switzerland. And then in 1934, Brazil had their one and only loss in World Cup debuts. So, could Morocco pull it off? Now, before we dive into the Brazil projected starting 11 to face Morocco, news and updates, because there was one Brazilian player called Wesley that has been cut and replaced by the midfielder from Atalanta, Ederson. Before we talk about all of that, and we bring our guest to talk about Morocco, Rida, a quick word from the sponsor of this video, FootMob. The link to download will be in the description, and in the ad, they're also doing a giveaway, so make sure you stick around for that, and don't forget to drop a like in this video. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back very soon. This World Cup has a lot of games, and I'm sure you want to watch all of them, but keeping track of every national team and every player that you like can be overwhelming. So, let me introduce you to FootMob. To me, this is the best app to track soccer players and soccer teams, and I will be using it during the World Cup, and so should you. And the link to download it for free is in the description of this video. And yes, you heard that right. This wonderful app is free. On FootMob, you can get live scores and stats from World Cup games. Follow your favorite teams, players. It makes it easy to keep track of the group standings, bracket, and you can even use FootMob to make your own starting 11. And if you like to analyze games, they have heat maps, stats, and even advanced analytics. The link to download it for free is in the description of this video. In the process, you'll also be helping the channel. But wait! There's more. FootMob also has a summer giveaway of a national team jersey of your choice. There will be 5 winners this summer. All you have to do to enter is download the app, go to settings, and use the code BALL, as in BALL. And the winner will be selected and contacted on July 20th. If you already have FootMob, you can use the code anyway to enter. So download FootMob now for free. Link will be in the description of this video. What are you waiting for? Okay, so before I even talk about the projected starting 11, why don't we go through the 2 friendlies? And by the way, this is FootMob that I'm using right now that you guys can download the link in the description. I want to go through the 2 friendlies and the starting 11 that Carlo Ancelotti put out for those games, just so you guys can get a bit of an idea of what we're probably going to see against Morocco. Now, some of you may also ask, what about Neymar? Is he going to be available? Neymar very likely won't be available. If he is, he'll be on the bench. He's questionable. I wouldn't expect Neymar to play against Morocco. Okay, very likely he's not available against Morocco. He'll only be available when we face maybe Haiti or Scotland in the 3rd game. But anyhow, against Panama that Brazil played in Brazil, he put out Alisson on goal, Wesley on the right, Bremer, Leo Pereira as the 2 center backs, so the 2 backups, which makes sense. If I'm not mistaken, Marquinhos and Gabriel Magalhães were still playing the Champions League final during that time, or they had just played it. Alexandro as the left back, Bruno Guimarães and Casemiro as the double pivot, Rafinha, Luis Henrique, Vinicius, and Cunha up top. Now, Wesley, the right back, he's out. He's injured, okay? And he was replaced by the midfielder from Atalanta, Ederson. So Wesley won't play. The 2 center backs right there, the starters are Gabriel Magalhães and Marquinhos. So those wouldn't be the guys. Now, against Egypt, let's look at how Brazil looked against Egypt. So against Egypt, he played Alisson on goal, Wesley on the right back position. That's when he got injured at the 17th minute. Marquinhos, Ibanez, and Douglas Santos on the left back. Rafinha, Casemiro, Bruno Guimarães, and Paquetá. And then Vinicius and Igor Thiago up top, a 4-4-2. There have been a lot of talks about the formation of 4-2-3-1 or a 4-4-2, and it does vary throughout the game. So it is kind of hard to tell what exactly Carlo Ancelotti will do. And he's a coach that he always tries to adapt to the opponent, right? He always adapts, and that's why he's been so successful in the Champions League, for example. So what I want to do now is I want to go through. There were some reports out from Globo about the projected starting 11. So I'm going to put what Brazil Edition on X put out. That's a great account, by the way, that you guys should absolutely follow. Brazil Football, Brazil Edition. And this is what Globo's been reporting. That's going to be the starting 11 against Morocco. I'm going to go back to FootMob very soon. That way I can kind of mess around with the lineup and formation. But it's essentially Alisson on goal, Danilo as the right back, which is quite concerning. We'll talk about that in a second. Alexandro as the left back, which is also concerning. But Danilo is a bit more, okay? Unless we get the version that we got of Danilo in the Libertadores final, I am very concerned. But Marquinhos and Gabriel Magalhães as the 2 center backs, Casemiro and Bruno Guimarães as the double pivot midfielders, Paquetá as an attacking mid or wide. Paquetá might play wide. Rafinha on the right wing, Vinicius on the left wing, and Cunha up top as the 9. So again, Paquetá could be wide. It could be as a 10. Rafinha might be central. We might play a 4-4-2 with maybe even Rafinha and Vinicius up top so we can counterattack Morocco. It's tough to know what exactly Carlo Ancelotti will do. And I'll show you here because Ginga Bonito, another great account on X, they did the same report, but when they did their artwork, they put the Brazilian national team in a 4-4-2, right? Alisson on goal. The back line is the same I talked about. Casemiro and Bruno Guimarães. And then Paquetá on the right. Vinicius on the left. Cunha and Rafinha up top in a 4-4-2. That's another account you guys should absolutely follow during the World Cup, okay? That's a great account right there. And don't forget that we will be doing a live watch-along, a live watch party here at Chappelle Football during the game. Okay, we will be doing it, so make sure you're tuning in for it on Saturday. But listen, how do I think Brazil's going to play? This is what I think it'll look like a bit more with Brazil. It'll look like a 4-4-2. Obviously, Vinicius in a more attacking role. And it'll look something like this, what you're seeing on screen here as I'm using FootMob with the lineup builder. So, what changes? When we're defending, I think what will happen is Cunha might drop and Vinicius might stay up top with Paqueta. And when we are defending, it might look something like this. And you may be wondering, so we're not playing with a true nine? I don't think so. Also, Cunha is not a true nine on his own. Bruno Guimarães has some good range on his pass. Casemiro has some good range on his pass. Paqueta has some good range. Paqueta just doesn't have that counterattack, right? He's not an explosive player. And Cunha is a player willing to do the dirty work. So I think he would track back down the left for Vinicius. And I believe Ancelotti will leave Vinicius and Rafinha up top to counterattack Morocco when they come for us. Morocco's a team that defends very well. Okay. Keep that in mind. But here's the thing: when is a team the most vulnerable while defending? In transition. When they are changing from one phase of play to the other. So if they're changing from their offensive play to the defensive play, they're changing from one phase of play to the other. That's when they're the most disorganized. And if you can counterattack them quick with Vinicius and Rafinha, that's when they will be the most exposed, and that's when you have the highest odds of scoring. So I think the defensive shape will be something like what you're seeing on screen right now. But let's say we are not able to counterattack. We're building out of the back, right? We're trying to like actually control possession. Then I think Vinicius will drift left. Cunha will be a bit more central. Rafinha will be a bit more central. Paqueta will be a bit deeper here, maybe helping on the build out. And then you have Bruno and Casemiro. Bruno sometimes comes in here, right? And then Casemiro can stay here. That can happen quite a bit. Also, in possession, I wouldn't be surprised if Rafinha drifted wide and Paqueta went central. In possession, we could look something like this as well, right? Rafinha can go wide to provide width. I don't expect Alexander and Danilo to support the offense as much. But regardless, I think when we're defending, I expect Paqueta to drop. I expect Cunha to drop. I expect Vinicius and Rafinha to stay up top. Obviously, when possible. Sometimes Vinicius will have to drop. Sometimes Rafinha will have to drop. Sometimes Cunha will have to stay up top. But when possible, I think we'll look something like this while defending. And in possession, we go back to normal shape. Maybe Rafinha goes here. Maybe Paqueta goes there. A lot of things can change. I know Bruno Guimarães likes to go forward. So sometimes it can even look something like this, right? Sometimes it can even look like this. Or Rafinha wide, Paqueta. It can even look like this in possession sometimes. I guess it's a wait and see approach. We're going to find out on Saturday during the live watch along. And I think with Ancelotti, this could change every game. So when we do the live stream on Saturday, I'll go live like 20, 30 minutes before the game. We'll talk about it, and then we'll go through the game and watch it together, analyze it together, react together, cheer together, and hopefully, if you're Brazilian, celebrate a Brazil win. If you're Moroccan, I'm sorry, I can't root for Morocco. I'm sorry. Best of luck, but I can't do it. Don't forget to drop a like in the video right now. Make sure to download FootMob. I'll see you guys on Saturday, obviously. But before we end this, now let's talk to our Moroccan guest about the Moroccan national team and find out what Moroccans think about the Brazilian national team. Okay, for Morocco, we brought an expert in the Moroccan national team to talk today. Rida, how are you doing? Welcome to the channel.
I'm good, broski. I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
Doing great as well. I mean, I'm a little concerned about this game because if we go back maybe to the 90s, it would have been Brazil would have been the clear favorites. But we come into this game, and when you talk to Brazilians, for example, they'll say Morocco is going to be Brazil. It's going to be a draw. Brazil's going to. So essentially, no one knows what's going to happen, right? There's no,
Yeah.
and I agree with them for the most part. I think for this specific game, despite Morocco's great cycle and Brazil not having a great cycle, it almost feels like there's no favorite. It's the World Cup opener. It's Brazil in the World Cup. Morocco's coming off a very good World Cup. And I want to start with that, actually. I want to ask you this beforehand. Morocco made it to the semifinals in 2022, which was incredible. I mean, I didn't expect it. Maybe Moroccans did. Most people didn't expect it. They made it to the semifinals, and they didn't have an easy path, right? They did knock out some giants on the way: Spain, Portugal, with Cristiano. Is this version of Morocco better than that one? About the same? what is your perspective on that? 2022 Morocco versus 2026 Morocco.
Well, I don't want to say that we are better now, but the individual qualities of the players we have now are a lot better. Like all the players are more evolved. We have more players playing in top leagues at top clubs. And at that point, it was like most of the time the players were like in the Dutch league or I don't know, or like a Mazraoui or Hakimi, we're not like the superstars as they are now. But if I need to answer, then I would say this team is right now is better than 2022.
More talented, you'd say.
Yeah, more,
Yeah,
more, more. Yeah, yeah. It's
yeah.
more talented, way more.
Because I know I put you in a tricky question because sometimes having more talent doesn't mean that the team is better, right? Because that team was just
Yeah,
it just clicked in the right time.
and that's the thing in 2022. It was like such a great team. They worked for each other. They fight for each other, and um, now you have more qualities, but you don't know if they are a team like last World Cup.
Do you guys have a different coach? What's the coaching situation in Morocco?
Yeah, we have a different coach now. So actually, the youth of Morocco, they won the World Cup. That was like a special thing. And the coach of that team, he's upgraded to the head to the first team. And the old coach Regregi, he had like one task that was winning the Afcon. Uh, Eventually, in the end, he did, but
Kinda,
but
right? We still
kind of he kind of did. Yeah, on the field he didn't win the cup, so he needed to leave, and they brought the young guy. He knows how to work with new guys. He knows how to bring like talented people together. So they wanted to try it with this coach, and I actually like him because he's way more tactical than our last coach. You see in 2 games already, you see like tactical specific style of playing, and with Regregi it was like more fighting and more like the grinta.
Mhm.
And now you have like real tactics. You see like a playing style, and I like it this style. I like this style more.
It's funny that you said that. So he lost the AFCON final on the field to Senegal. He got fired, but then months later on court, they won it. So he technically won it, but he got fired because he didn't win it.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's the
Well,
thing.
that sucks for him. But
That sucks for him, bro. But I don't think he wanted to stay because like although he won it, it's like a lot of people they wanted him to leave because you just didn't saw like improvement from the last World Cup. So in the end, you need to improve. You have better players now, so you need to show it on the field. Otherwise, yeah, you're going down.
and let me ask you one thing, and you can give us a Moroccan perspective on this. Brazil is a national team that maybe not as much as they used to be. They've always been feared. Like no one wants to play Brazil in the World Cup. No one wanted to do it. But I got the sense that Morocco kind of liked it when they got this draw. Not that they're underestimating Brazil, but almost like they believe they're at the level to challenge Brazil. So it's like it's a good challenge. What is the Moroccan perspective right now on that when they're playing Brazil? Do they see Brazil as an opponent that is weak that Morocco can take over and beat? Do they just feel like Morocco has raised the bar so they can challenge Brazil? Do they think they're favorites? I want to get the overall perspective of how Moroccans are seeing this game against Brazil in the World Cup
Yeah.
opener. A very tough game for both teams.
Well, I think the thing is that why Moroccans are happy to play against Brazil is because you can show yourself against one of the biggest football countries in the world that we ever saw, and Brazil is at this point is not like the Brazil from the last years, So that's the thing why I think we Moroccans we think we make a good chance against this team because they have superstars, they have a great coach, they have great players, but it's not the Brazil that we know, that we, that the old Brazil, So I think that's why a lot of Moroccans really think we are the favorites and we can win this game. But if you look at it like just normally, not biased, then I would say there's no favorite in this game. This is the biggest game in the group stages of the World Cup. Everyone that I speak that wants to see this game because everyone sees this as like two giants against each other. And I think if I'm looking to the Moroccans in Morocco and the diaspora and all the other countries, the Moroccans really believe that they can win this game. And if they don't win, it's a disappointment. And in the past, it was like crazy to say this, but now I really know, and it's disappointed. It's disappointing if Morocco doesn't win this game against Brazil.
And it's interesting. You said one of the biggest games in the group stage. Yes, I think this game, Brazil, Morocco, France, Senegal, and Portugal, Colombia. Those are my big three games. Those are the games I'm like, I
Yeah,
really want to watch these. Even
yeah,
though I'm probably going to watch every game. It is fascinating because I talked also to many Brazilians, and it the opinion is similar. It's like you can't really point to a favorite in this game, which is interesting because if you go back 10 years, Brazil playing Morocco in the
yeah,
World Cup, everyone would say Brazil has to win it. They have to win it.
yeah,
Morocco, if they pull a draw, that's a great result. But right now, if Morocco wins, I don't think it's an upset. If Brazil wins, it's definitely not an upset. And if it's a draw, which maybe the draw is the most likely scenario, like maybe like they tie
yeah,
the game. Also, because I
bro.
feel
That's
like
that.
I was gonna say, I feel like from both perspectives, for Morocco and Brazil, it's not good to start the World Cup with a loss, even though it's a tough opponent. So the draw almost becomes the perfect result for both. Like no one's really messed up with it. It's a good result for both sides. And then you try to go beat Haiti and Scotland, you go through, and then maybe it comes down to goal differential. Let me ask you another thing here. Any key players missing? This was the starting 11 you guys had against Norway. Are there any key
Yeah,
players missing for the game against Brazil? Because you had a few injuries.
yeah. Well, the team that you're seeing now is probably the starting 11 against Brazil. These are the best players right now they have. Only Aguerd is like the central defender from in the past from West Ham, now from. I think only Aguerd is missing in this starting 11, the central defender from Marseille. But in the game, we had two key players that got injured, and I'm talking about Bashir Mazraoui, the left back, and Abdesamad Ezazuli from Real Betis, the left winger. And that's a big problem. That's a really big problem because Mazraoui is one of the best defenders that we have, and he was at the Afghan. He was like the best player of Morocco in general. Um, he's a doubt if he can play against Brazil or not. It's like still not sure. Some journalists say yes, some people say no. So it's we're gonna see. But Azazuli is like he's probably out for 3 weeks. So that's a big problem. Because if you saw the game against Norway, he was one of the best players on the field. He was such important in the game that the new coach wants to play. They want to play with high pressure. They want to recover the ball, and then on the counter, they want to run and they want to shoot, and that's like the play style of Azazuli. He's just
Who
running,
replaces him? Who
skillful. He can
replaces
go.
him?
Yeah, that's the problem. His replacement is Talby from Sunderland, a really good player, but he's also in doubt. So he's also injured. So we don't really have a backup for him. So that's the problem. And now he's playing with Saibari as like a false nine. But I think he's gonna put Saibari at left winger and then new striker. That's the only thing that I can imagine that he can probably do against Brazil, because you can do. We have a left winger. He plays at Dubai, bro. You can't start with him against Brazil. That's a disgrace. He's Brazil have Rafinha and Vinicius. You go with Rahimi. Nah, that's impossible.
And
So
let
I
me.
think the most
I was going to ask you
the most
with
logical
these
thing is
changes.
Saibari at the left.
Yeah,
Huh?
I was going to say with these changes that you mentioned, what are we going to expect the approach from Morocco? Do you think Morocco is going to do a more of a reactive approach where they defend, try to counterattack? Is Morocco a pressing team? Because I can see Brazil also doing that. Brazil being a bit reactive of letting Morocco come attack them, soak up pressure, and counterattack with Vinicius, Rafinha. Is Morocco going to have a similar approach? Because that what we saw in the
Yeah.
2022 World Cup, right? Morocco was very solid defensively and
Yeah.
deadly on the counterattack. Is that the
Yeah.
same style of play?
Yes, but in against Norway, you saw like they will start like the first 30 minutes, the first 20 minutes, they will start like heavy pressure at the box of Brazil. That's definitely the play style of the Moroccan national team right now. They're gonna like begin crazy. They have like the starting kickoff like a PSG does. Like you kick the ball in the corner and then you're gonna press. That's like how
Like
Morocco plays, and
PSG.
I think
Like PSG.
like PSG. Yes, exactly. And then Morocco scored like an early opener, like Brian Diaz did in the 8th minute, and then they are gonna like defend and counter. That's the play style of Morocco at this point. So just score early and then gonna defend. But against Brazil, it's not easy. If you don't score and you're gonna keep rushing, then that's a big danger for Morocco, and a big thing that Brazil can can win.
Well, the way I'm seeing this then is if Brazil can hold off the early pressure for the first 20, 30 minutes, they will be more in control of this game. Morocco's going
Yeah.
to try to get an early goal and then play off a Brazil mistake. That's what it sounds like. We'll see how it plays out. Last but not least, so we close this video, score prediction.
Score prediction. Ooh. I would say 2-1 Morocco.
I'll
And
go
it's
the
not
opposite.
biased, but it's really what I think.
Okay. I'll go the opposite. I'll go 2-1 Brazil. I don't see Brazil holding a clean sheet against Morocco, but I think Brazil wins their debut. Also, if Morocco beats Brazil, I think it's the first time in history Brazil loses an opener.
Ooh,
I don't think it's ever happened. I don't remember Brazil ever losing a World Cup opener. That'd be the
that's
first time.
crazy. That's
I could be
crazy. That's
wrong.
crazy.
Someone can fact check me in the comment section, but I think
Yeah.
this would be. So in the last World Cup, we had the first African nation to ever beat Brazil, which was Cameroon in the group stage. But Brazil was rotating, right? So
Yeah.
Morocco would technically be the first African nation to actually beat Brazil with their starters, everyone. And I think it would also be Brazil's first loss in a World Cup opener in their history. I'm pretty sure, unless
Well,
they lost one in like the 1960s, which I doubt it under Pele. Um,
well,
but anyhow.
Morocco loves to break records, so it's another one for the books.
I hope not. I wish you all the best in the World Cup, just not against Brazil. Go beat Haiti and Scotland and everyone else, but not Brazil. Rita, thank you very
No, no.
much.
Yeah, thank you, bro. Thank you for for everything, and I hope Brazil goes as far as Morocco.
We'll meet in the final. All right, everyone. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to drop a like before you go. And on Saturday, we will be doing a live watch along, a live stream during the Brazil versus Morocco game. So come join us, have fun. It'll be a fun hangout. And that's all for today. I want to thank you all very much for watching. Drop a like before you go. Thank you, FootMob, for sponsoring the channel. And have a great day.